Now, even as the top politicians fight to stay united and agree on a flag bearer, it turns out that not enough Kenyans are registering to vote for them in 2017. A report released by Information, an independent election observer organization, has raised concern about the state of voter registration in Kenya based on what it terms as a crisis in issuance of national cards, identification cards. The report notes that residents from counties outside Nairobi and the central region can go up to a year without receiving their national IDs, even though IDs are a requirement to be registered as a voter. Timothy Etieno brings us that story.
The election season is fast approaching. Politicians are keen on not only ensuring they bought the correct political vehicle that will secure them a win come August the 8th next year, but also that their supporters will come out in droves to vote them into office. But the political class's latter dream may not pan out as envisioned if the latest report by election watch organization Inform Action is anything to go by. The group states that issuance of national identification cards is hindering the process of voter registration ahead of the 2017 polls, and the once overlooked issue could pan out to be a serious crisis if not dealt with. According to the report, the National Registration Bureau has failed to issue a majority of Kenyans with identification cards, even though most applied for them more than a year ago. The report highlights the percentage of voting age population registered in Kenya's counties at only 39% in Turkana County, 26% in Mandera County, and 41% in Wajir. And now the issuance of IDs or lack thereof may only play to heart next year's general elections.
It's so sad to see at this era and at this time, we're still passing through such challenges in this country.
This should cease to happen. Stop categorizing Kenyans. We really, sometimes we ask ourselves, do we really have independence? The mentality of the colonialism is still here.
Perhaps the claim supported by the fact that the voter registration exercise conducted by the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission earlier this year did not meet its expected target. During phase 1 of the exercise, only 1.4 million Kenyans were registered, way below the 4.1 million anticipated, even though the commission blamed the slack exercise on lack of resources.
They haven't had an increase in their budget for years. If anything, their budget has been decreasing, while our police budget is increasing, while our military budget is increasing, while our NSIS budget is increasing.
Currently, more than 14 million Kenyans are registered as voters, with the IEBC hoping that by May next year, 25 million Kenyans will form the country's voter registry. The Election Watch Group recommends more funding to the Ministry of Interior to ensure more IDs are churned out so that Kenyans eligible to vote can exercise their democratic rights. It's certainly not the first time such a report highlighting ethnic and regional discrepancies, especially when it comes to issuance of national identification cards, is being released to the public, which then begs the question, will this time the recommendations highlighted be followed to the latter by the relevant bodies? Timothy Etieno, KTN News.